Everybody, it's Kristin and welcome to Throwback Thursday. What Throwback Thursday is, if you are new to this concept, is I go back and take a look at my favorites, and I go back 2 years. So this month we're going back to February of 2013. I take a look at what my favorites were and come back and tell you, are they still favorites? Have I replaced them? That sort of thing. This is an idea that was started by Marnie from Miss Gold Girl, and it just was brilliant. She had invited other YouTubers to join along, and that's what I'm doing, and others have started to do it as well. So some people are doing them on Friday too. So if you're searching for these on YouTube, try Throwback Thursday and like Flashback Friday. So anyway, all right, let's get started. I didn't have a huge list for that particular month. And the first thing on there was the DKNY Golden Delicious fragrance. And I like that fragrance. I have since used that up and not repurchased just because I have so many other things. And I feel like I like a little bit more, I want to say adult fragrance. Not that that's not adult, but hopefully you know what I mean. I like just a little bit more of an adult fragrance than that now, but I did like it and enjoy it. Right now I've talked about it a bunch, really enjoying the Tom Ford Santal Blush. That's definitely my favorite currently. The next thing I talked about was a makeup setting spray, and this is by the brand Australis. And I used this today and I was like, oh yes, that's why I love this. So it looks like this. And Australis is a brand that's only, to my knowledge, available in Australia. And this was sent to me by a friend of mine that used to make YouTube videos, and she doesn't anymore. But I love this. I even have a backup of it that was sent to me by another YouTuber who occasionally makes videos. Miss Goddess is in training, so I'll link her below. But I really like this. This is, to me, and I didn't say it in that video. I talked about the other two like a fix. Okay, so let's form a sentence, shall we, Kristin? So I feel like this is a combination of the Urban Decay All Nighter and MAC Fix Plus. The Urban Decay All Nighter will just set things, but I don't feel like, you know, how the Fix Plus, I've always said, it just blends everything together. It takes away any powder or anything like that and just makes things look really nice. And but it doesn't set and it doesn't help longevity, where the All Nighter helps with longevity, but I don't feel it kind of has that melding thing. This is a really good combination of it. And I had put this in a drawer because I didn't want to use it up. Ridiculous. This is being pulled out and I'm using it. I'm so happy to have rediscovered that. So, or have been reminded about it. Okay, the next things on there were the YSL lipsticks. I still only have these two shades, which are the ones that I talked about. And this is the Rouge Volupte. I had a hard time saying it in that video. I still don't know. Is it Volupte or Volupte? Anyway, this is the one in #1. So it's just this. I bought this because everybody talked about it. And I do like it. I just don't wear those kind of light shades, really. But they're nice on the lips. I don't know that this is a favorite anymore. I haven't used it very much at all. This one, however, I used to talk about quite a bit, and I'm not sure. I know that this is the number 17, but this is a Rouge Volupte Shine number 17. This was originally only available at Nordstrom. It was like a Nordstrom. It was a Nordstrom exclusive, and this is what I'm wearing on my lips today. I'd forgotten about this too. I love this. Raise your hand if you remember me talking about this over and over and over again. So I would take a look and see if Nordstrom still carries this particular shade. I think that they do, because I feel like, I don't know. It's in my memory bank that I talked about it within the last year and that I had found it there, but anyway. That's what I'm wearing today, and still a favorite. I love that shade. It was probably one of my first kind of delves into a little bit deeper of a shade for me. Back then it was all Viva Glam 5 and Hourglass Whisper and nothing else. The next thing that I had on here is the Makeup Forever Lash Fibers. So I don't have that anymore, just because I actually, if you saw my last haul, I purchased that Anastasia top coat for the mascara to try that. But what I was using the lash fibers for back then was the Giorgio Armani Eyes to Kill. That mascara would transfer underneath my brow bone, and when I used that as a primer, I mean, it obviously added a few lash fibers, but I used it as a primer. It would stop that mascara from transferring. So I have repurchased that since then and gone through another one or whatever. But so I do think that product is nice. It adds some fibers and it adds kind of like a protective sort of primerish thing to your lashes, and helps mascara to not transfer. But the reason I bought the Anastasia one is because I wanted something that wouldn't add a lot more bulk, so that I can really test the mascara for what it is versus over lash fibers. I hope that made some sort of sense to you. The next thing that I have on here was the Estee Lauder More Than Mascara. It's More Than Moisture Mascara. There's a big long name for it. I'll list it below. And I actually I think in my last Mascara Madness, went through another one of those. I love that mascara. I think it's a really, really nice mascara. It has just kind of your basic wand. If I can find a picture, I will stick it in here. But it's kind of a conical wand, but nothing super fancy. Really nice. Love that mascara. It's a good everyday mascara. I just don't currently have it. All right, the next thing on here was the Bobbi Brown blushes. And when I saw that palette, I was like, oh, Kristin, when was the last time you used your Bobbi Brown blushes? I do love them. I will tell you what I have in here. This is Tawny, Blushed, Pale Pink, and Apricot. So Tawny, Blushed, Pale Pink, and Apricot. So Tawny, Blushed, Pale Pink, and Apricot. Pale Pink is still my favorite of all of these, and I do really like these blushes. I just kind of got on blush overload in the past couple of years, and in this past year I really just have used the Camp blushes and I mean, I've used other blushes, but I don't know. I've had blinders on. All right. I talked about this. This is the Naked Flushed. Now, this is when this was the only one that was out, so there's no name on the back of this. It's just Naked Flushed. And if I can figure out which one it is, because I think they have different names now, I'll list it below. But I like the blush, which is what I'm wearing today, and I do really like this highlight. But I don't reach for this anymore. The bronzer is just too orange for me. It just doesn't work. In my opinion, on me, it doesn't work. And this is the... I still can't believe I left this out of my IT Cosmetics video. This has definitely been replaced by this. This is the IT Cosmetics Vitality Disc, or Face Vitality. Just flipped over it, I put a big old nick in it. Anyway, the Live, Love, Laugh Vitality Face Disc by IT Cosmetics. I just feel like the quality of this is much better than the quality of this. I feel like the bronzer works better. The blush and highlight are kind of similar. The blush and highlight they're different shades. There's a little bit more probably coral to this, where there's a little more pink to this. The highlight in this one is a little more pink as well, versus this one is a little more champagne. But I just prefer the quality of this far and away above the Naked Flush. So this has replaced that as a favorite. I think this must have been when I had just purchased both of these. So this is the Naked Basics. Sorry, it looks like this. And then this is what it looks like on the inside. And I do like this. However, I feel like the Becca Ombre Nudes palette is a little bit, it's a better quality than the Naked one. I don't use Crave very much, which is the black one, which is one of the biggest difference in here. The only thing that I wish that this Becca palette had is a shade something like Venus or that WS, which is Walk of Shame. I wish that it just had this one. The shade here pulls a little bit too dark on my lid. I'd like something a little more kind of brulee-like, if that makes sense. But I do still use this. It's great for travel. You know, if you're going to bring a couple of single shades or maybe a palette that needs some transition shades or whatever. I've said that before. I still think this is a great palette for that. And the Basics 2 is also a really, you know, a nice palette for that. But favorites-wise, if I had to pick between the two, I would pick the Becca one at this point. And then the last thing that I had in this video, and I was looking this up last night when I was prepping for this video, and I don't see these on Sephora anymore. What happened? I feel like I need to make an emergency phone call to Josh. Josh Collier, I'll link him below if you guys haven't watched him. He makes videos here and there. He doesn't make them quite as much as he used to, but he always has really great information. Anyway, he works in Sephora for Hourglass, and which is why I feel like I need to make a call to him. So, okay. Back up. These are the Hourglass Visionaire duos. I have two of them. I've spoken about both of them several times. So this is the one, and I'm wearing this today. This is the one in Suede. This is just the easiest throw on your eye look. I still love these. You probably can't tell, but there's a really significant dip in in that darker color, but those are the two shades there. I still love these a lot. Right there. I mean, you can, today I just took the lighter color all over my lid. I took that other color with a big fluffy brush in the crease and done. And then you can throw on just about, you know, any liner with that. I love that one. And then my favorite of the two though, and this is the one I've probably spoken about more, is Gypsy. Ugh, I love this. It's this color, which also has a significant dip in it. This, just gorgeous. Absolutely stunning. That's what those are. Pretty, particular if you have blue or green eyes. Just stunning. So I looked on Sephora and I couldn't find them. Now I looked on Hourglass's website and they had some of them, but a lot of them were out of stock. So I don't know if they are out of stock because they're discontinuing them for those new ones, which is going to make me sad because I can't buy the new one. I just can't do it. My OCD or... I can't buy those new ones. They're beautiful. I swatched them. I've heard really mixed reviews on them too. I swatched them at Sephora this past weekend when I was there, and my issue is that they touch. I don't like that. That's probably one of my issues with the Naked Flush as well, now that I think about it, is that everything's touching. It's easier though to work with the Naked Flush versus those Hourglass ones. They're beautiful to look at and they feel soft and buttery when I swatch, but I'm such a freak. So anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed this Throwback Thursday. If you have any questions, go ahead and listen below. Or if you can think of a favorite that you had back then that you still remember, if you make videos, or if you don't, I would love to hear something that you're like, oh, you know what I used to love, or it doesn't even have to be from back then. I just, you know, what are you thinking of? What are you rediscovering? Okay, so on my face today, I have the Bourjois Healthy Mix foundation, and on my cheeks, as I said, I had the Naked Flush, and also I'm using the, I put it away here, let me grab it out, the Kat Von D Shade and Light a little bit, and I think I told you everything else except my liner. As I said, I have the Suede Duo one, and then for liner today, I'm using the Tarte liner in Peridot Green. I'll give you, it's a really pretty, kind of cross between olive and evergreen, in my opinion. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll talk to you very soon. Bye.